As the successor to the 159, the Alfa Romeo Giulia has quite a job on its hands. Not only is it the famous Italian firm's first model on its new modular platform, but it's also charged with rescuing a company that has found its sails firmly in the doldrums. To do that, this attractive four-door saloon is going to have to win the hearts and minds not only of loyal fans put off by the lackluster Mito and Giulietta, but steal new sales from an established and hotly competitive sector that includes well-known cars such as the BMW 3 Series, Mercedes-Benz C-Class, Audi A4 and of course the British entrant, the Jaguar X. Has to appeal to business drivers and driving enthusiasts. The key to selling bulk in this marketplace is to break into the company car park by appealing to fleet managers, and on the face of it that's what Alfa has done here. The Giulia is available with a 2.1-litre diesel engine that emits 109 grams/km of CO2 in both 150 horsepower and 180 horsepower outputs, qualifying it for the sub 130 grams/km write-down allowance to get onto fleet lists and making for relatively low big tax for the drivers too. But it's about more than numbers. An Alfa Romeo should be an emotional thing, so we're pleased to say this is also one of the best cars in its class to drive. A true return to form. It has quick, precise steering and 50 hours 50 minutes weight distribution that makes the car feel far more involving than nearly anything else of its size, while its sole new engine lineup aims to provide excitement as well as low running costs. Its lighter weight architecture helps in both respects, keeping fuel economy high and handling exciting. We did find a few wrinkles, however. No car is perfect, and it's away behind the class leaders when quality of cabin materials and performance of multimedia system are taken into account. It'll only seat 4 adults too, and the boot is an awkward shape for larger items. Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio leaves rivals in its wake. There's a hot version of this new car too, and it's quite a thing. Developing a massive 510 horsepower from its Ferrari-derived 2.9-litre V6 twin-turbocharged petrol engine, it demolishes 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds and hits 191 miles per hour flat out. We go into more detail about this car, including its clever chassis, in the driving section of this review. It's more than talented enough to make the Mercedes-AMG C63 and BMW M3 nervous. The verdict: Alfa Romeo has built a truly convincing executive saloon. In diesel and petrol forms, it looks good, drives superbly, and should prove economical to run. Considering the strength of its rivals, this is quite an achievement. It's hard not to love the Giulia Quadrifoglio. It drives superbly, sounds brilliant and looks great compared with its most immediate German rivals. Aside from a few interior niggles, a slightly dated feeling infotainment system and the less than perfect image of its dealer network, this is a car that really stacks up. At the moment, it gets a thumbs up from us, an Alfa Romeo you can buy with your head, as well as your heart. Read on for our full Alfa Romeo Giulia review to see whether it goes to the top of the executive class. Pair of efficient and punchy diesels, tepid and hot petrol options. 2 Quadrifoglio model is the full Vindaloo. The engine options for the Alfa Romeo Giulia include a pair of efficient diesels, a 2.0-litre petrol with 2 outputs, and a fire-breathing 2.9-litre twin-turbocharged petrol in the Quadrifoglio Performance model. There's no manual gearbox at all for UK cars, however. All use an 8-speed automatic gearbox that switches its gears quickly and smoothly without ever getting caught out between ratios. We appreciated the shift paddles too. They're located on the steering column rather than the wheel, just like a Ferrari. Every car gets Alfa's DNA drive mode switch as well. This allows you to adjust throttle response between dynamic, sharper, normal, default, and advanced efficiency, for better fuel economy. This rotary switch is conveniently positioned by the gear lever and easy to use without having to look down. Pragmatic diesel engine. The Sol diesel engine is an all-new aluminium 2.1-litre, but badged 2.2. 4-cylinder unit with 150 horsepower and 380 Nm of torque, or 180 horsepower and 450 Nm depending on your requirements. Both produce big torque at 1,750 revolutions per minute, while the 180 horsepower version gets maximum power at 3,750 revolutions per minute, instead of 4,000 revolutions per minute in the 150 horsepower. The 150 horsepower accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds, while the higher-powered car takes 7.1 seconds. We've currently only driven the more powerful of these engines and can confirm it's smooth enough, but considering how recently it was developed, we were surprised how noisy it is. Preferable petrol engines. While most UK buyers will plump for the diesel, we preferred the 2.0-litre, 200 horsepower petrol engine. It's keen to rev, sounds more interesting, and it's smoother and better to drive. This develops peak power at 4,500 revolutions per minute, while 330 Nm of torque comes at 1,750 revolutions per minute. The obvious penalty will be on fuel economy, but if you're doing lots of short journeys and not many miles per year, then you might be surprised how level the playing field is once you've factored in a car's purchase price. There's also a 280 horsepower version of this engine, which boasts 400 Nm of torque. The delivery is higher up the rev range though, at 5,250 and 2,250 revolutions per minute respectively. Even so, it's predictably a faster motor, with 0 to 62 miles per hour taking 5.7 seconds instead of the 200 horsepower car's 6.6. Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. By far the fastest version of the Giulia is the awkwardly named Quadrifoglio model, Italian for cloverleaf. This is powered by a Ferrari-derived twin-turbocharged V6 petrol engine developing 510 horsepower and 600 Nm of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute and 2,500 revolutions per minute. That's enough for a 0 to 62 miles per hour dash in 3.9 seconds and an unlimited top speed of 191 miles per hour, roundly beating all of its rivals. It's also 8-speed auto only, but it's a specially calibrated gearbox. It works as well as you'd expect, rifling through the gears with ferocity. This is a monstrously quick car with a distinctly non-turbocharged feel, thanks to the exciting rush to the red line we'd expect to experience in a naturally aspirated engine. It also makes a fabulous noise via its quad tailpipes, although you have to set it to race mode to get the full effect of this. Class-leading handling from the Giulia. Few other cars as engaging or approachable. Quadrifoglio is a different league. This is one area where the Giulia shines. It's a very balanced car with a huge amount of grip and steering that lets you know lots about what is happening under the front wheels. It's rear-wheel drive like all its rivals bar the Audi A4, and that's one reason it's so rewarding to drive. Turn the steering wheel and you'll be surprised at first by how responsive it is. It doesn't take much of a twist for the front wheels to follow suit, but after a minute or two you learn to anticipate it and then you'll fall in love. The suspension offers a brilliant blend of compliance and cornering performance. Unlike most new cars we drive, there's no adaptive damping, even as an option, on the non-Quadrifoglio car. It's simply set up properly. It's for this reason that the Giulia is class-leading in terms of engaging handling. Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio handling. The performance version of Alfa's Saloon gets further handling enhancements, with a torque vectoring system on the rear axle that uses a pair of clutches to control how much of the engine's output is sent to either side of the car. The effect is to improve traction when approaching the limits of the tire's adhesion for a more controllable character when driving quickly. Other extras on this hot Alfa Romeo include a race mode for the DNA switch that adjusts the rear differential and stability control systems for high-performance driving, optional bucket seats to keep you hemmed in, and carbon ceramic brakes for optimum stopping power. Purposeful and low-slung driving position. Aluminium gearshift paddles. A superb cheaper plastic on touch points a disappointment. There are some good bits about the Giulia's cabin, and some that lag behind the competition. Audi, BMW, Jaguar and Mercedes-Benz all build quality interiors, so this is a difficult battle to win, and the Alfa Romeo entrant falls short mainly on minutiae. Some of the plastics around common touch points, such as surrounding the gear lever, and some of the switch gear itself, like the rotary multimedia controller, feel cheaper than we've become accustomed to in this sector. Interior quality not a strong point. We like the 8.8-inch screen's integration into the sweeping dash, but wished it was touch-controlled as well as by the rotary dial, which incidentally also looks like it has a touchpad like the German rivals, but alas not, its shiny top fooled us. The graphics on the sat-nav and the size and resolution of the display all feel old already, which is a shame considering how stylish the Giulia is on the outside. It's the same with the screen between speedo and rev counter. It just feels a few years behind. But all that accepted, it's a well-designed interior that looks great. We'd suggest going for a leather-covered dash as opposed to the soft-touch plastic also on offer. It looks £1 million in comparison. We also preferred the classic motory-esque wood trim from the luxury pack to the aluminium finishing on the sport pack. It seems to suit the Giulia's style a little better. Sporty but comfortable suspension balance, low end and road noise but vocal. Diesel's Quadrifoglio rides the best on adaptive dampers. A bit of a mixed bag here. The Alfa Romeo tuned suspension is sportier than some rivals, and that means while it's not crashy, it can seem firm over sharp speed bumps and particularly poor road surfaces. The lack of adaptive suspension on the standard car doesn't help here, but we think the overall balance is so good we'll forgive its stiff ride. The cabin is remarkably well insulated, however, with very little engine or road noise intruding. You'll notice some wind whistling around the door mirrors at motorway speeds, and if you work the engines hard, particularly the diesels, you'll hear a little more from them than you'd perhaps appreciate. With the 2.0-litre petrol this isn't much of an issue because it sounds interesting, but the diesel motor doesn't. We thought the seats were supportive and comfortable, which helps the Giulia feel a little more premium. Surprisingly comfortable Quadrifoglio. The adaptive dampers on the Giulia Quadrifoglio give it a surprisingly compliant ride. There's a button you can press in any of the car's modes to slacken off the dampers, just like the bumpy road setting in a Ferrari. We found the optional bucket seats extremely supportive and grippy, while the standard fit items don't pin you down as much, but do offer a slightly squashier bass. In terms of noise, the Quadrifoglio is quite muted below about 3,000 revolutions per minute thanks to a valve in the exhaust, unless you've got it in race mode, and it even starts without too much of a flourish, much to the delight of you neighbors at 6 a.m. Decent standard spec, upgrade to super, special and Veloce company car drivers catered for with well-spec'd Technica. Finally there's the super hot Quadrifoglio performance model. There are 4 basic trim levels on offer: standard Giulia, super, special and Veloce, plus the stand-alone Technica and Quadrifoglio versions. Standard Alfa Romeo Giulia saloon equipment base spec cars are simply called Giulia and come with 16-inch alloys, Alfa Connect on a 6.5-inch screen with radio, MP3, OIN, USB, and a Bluetooth 8-speaker audio system, DNA driving mode selector, auto headlights and wipers, cloth seats with manual adjustment, cruise control, dual zone climate control, electric parking brake, engine start button on steering wheel, leather steering wheel, LED tail and brake lights, rear parking sensors. Next up is the super trim, which adds 17-inch alloy wheels, Alfa Connect 8.8-inch screen, sat-nav aluminium door sills, dual chrome exhaust tip on 180 horsepower diesel, leather and cloth seats. Next there's special, and this trim adds a whole host of kit. 18-inch alloys by xenon headlamps, LED daylight running lamps, 40/20/40 split rear seats, 6-way power adjustable driver and passenger seats, aluminium sport pedals, footrest, tunnel cover, dashboard insert and door handles, around black gloss window surrounds, dimming rear view mirror, electrical side bolster support, fog lights, heated washer nozzles, front seats and steering wheel, leather sports seats and steering wheel, power folding mirrors, red brake calipers, sports bumpers plus diffuser and dual chrome exhaust. Finally there's the Veloce model, which includes 18-inch alloy wheels with run flat tires, upgraded braking system with black calipers, aluminium shift paddles, front parking sensors. There's a special Technica spec, which is designed for company car drivers, and includes 6-way driver and passenger leather, cloth electric seats, aluminium door sills, dual zone climate control, auto lights and wipers, climate pack, a thermic windshield, cool glove box and rear air vent, cruise control, electric parking brake, front and rear parking sensors plus rear view camera, front and rear USB ports, LED tail and brake lights, privacy glass, 17-inch alloy wheels, chrome exhaust and windows surround. Pick the Giulia Quadrifoglio and not only do you get a host of performance upgrades but also a load of kit in addition to the Veloce 2. 19-inch alloys, black window surrounds, 7.0-inch color cluster display, leather-wrapped dashboard and door panels, carbon fiber inserts on dashboard, leather and Alcantara manual front seats, cruise control, speed limit, rear view camera, specific bumpers and front grille, brighter xenon headlights. In addition there are the following performance-enhancing upgrades: Alfa Active Aero covered underbody, Alfa Active suspension, Alfa Active torque vectoring, Alfa chassis domain control, Alfa DNA Pro with race mode, sports exhaust with quad tailpipes, Alfa Romeo Giulia saloon. Optional extras: there's an array of options available organized into packs: climate pack, air quality system, cooled glove box, rear air vents, front and rear USB ports, cold weather pack, heated washer nozzle, front heated seats, heated steering wheel, convenience pack, sun visor with illuminated driver's vanity mirror, exterior door handle lights, keyless entry, driver assistance pack, rear view camera, front, rear parking sensors, driver assistance pack plus, rear view camera, electrochromic rear view mirror, front and rear parking sensors, electrochromic wing mirrors, automatic high beams, blind spot detection lighting pack, headlamp washer, brighter bi-xenon headlights and adaptive front lighting system lasso pack, silverwood or walnut trim power seats pack, 6-way power driver and passenger seats veloce interior pack, heated washer nozzles, 6-way power plus heated driver and passenger leather sports seats, 40/20/40 split folding rear seats, 6-way power passenger seat, heated steering wheel audio system upgrade, 11 speakers, ambient light sound theater by Harman Kardon, 14 speakers, ambient light. You can also select the following performance options: performance pack, steering wheel paddle shifters, limited slip differential, Alfa active suspension sport pack, aluminium tunnel cover and front door molding, sport leather steering wheel, aluminium sports pedals, footrest, bi-xenon headlamps sport pack plus, the above with the addition of brighter bi-xenon headlamps with adaptive front lighting system and headlamp washers. You can upgrade your Giulia Quadrifoglio with the following: 3 types of 19-inch wheels, active cruise control, red or yellow brake calipers, carbon shell sport seats by Spaco, carbon ceramic brake discs, plus there's the choice of the convenience pack, power seats pack and Harman Kardon stereo upgrade from above. 5-star rating from Euro NCAP. Impressive adult occupant safety, lots of standard kit but no LED headlights. The Alfa Romeo Giulia has a full 5-star rating from Euro NCAP with an impressive 98% result for adult occupants, which is very impressive. There's also a decent amount of safety equipment installed on the Giulia. Standard kit includes a forward collision warning system, low-speed autonomous emergency braking and lane departure warning. Moving up the trim structure, nets use xenon headlights with the cornering function to enable you to see around the corner than conventional straight beams. Unlike German rivals, there are no full LED headlights for superior night vision, which is a shame. Optional features include adaptive cruise control and blind spot monitoring, plus the Giulia Quadrifoglio gets torque vectoring, the braking of wheels to prevent wheel slip in corners, and uprated brakes with the option to specify carbon ceramic ones at extra cost. Good legroom for 4 but low roof line in the back. Middle rear seat is really for display purposes only. Competitively sized boot with slightly awkward shape. There's plenty of room in the cabin for 4 people, with 6-footers able to sit fore and aft simultaneously, but forget transporting 5. The transmission tunnel means the poor 5th occupant will be chewing their kneecaps for the entire journey, and taller adults in the outer pews will find headroom restricted too. A long wheelbase relative to its overall length means the Alfa Romeo Giulia can get away with being shorter than rivals like the Audi A4, for example, without compromising interior space. That means you're unlikely to struggle with parking this felt Italian saloon. The boot measures 480 liters, and it does have a decent-sized opening for a saloon car, but the shape of the aperture is such that larger items will fall around 3/4 of the way to the rear seats as luggage space makes way for wheelchairs. Alfa Romeo doesn't supply a seats down measurement for the Giulia, but obviously there's more space with them down, although not a huge amount more, and the load floor isn't flat thanks to a lump from the folded chairs.